3, 2.
Hello everyone, this is Meagan Meehan reporting for Alexander Gurman Productions, and today I am very pleased to have curator Carolyn Ratcliffe here, who is going to be discussing her wonderful career. Carolyn has set up a number of art shows in the city. One of the ones that I was very fortunate to be part of was one that she set up in the lobby of the Theater for the New City. So Carolyn, thank you for being here today. Thank you so much for coming in. So first and foremost, how did you become a curator? How did you get interested in the arts?
My undergraduate degree is in painting.
No, so you're an artist yourself.
I'm an artist myself. I've drawn and painted since I was like a little kid. My sister was a really good artist as well. And my parents always encouraged it. So that was my undergraduate degree. And then I have a certificate in Fine and Decorative Arts from NYU Professional Studies and a master's in nonprofit management.
Lovely. So how did you go from being an artist into being a curator? And what was the transition like?
Well, basically, I haven't stopped being an artist. I do lots of photographs, and I photograph events, landscapes, flowers. The transition into being a curator was out of a love of art, my neighborhood, my friends, many of whom are artists. And so we started organizing art exhibits as an artist collective in 1995. We got 2 pop-ups, one on Avenue B, one on Avenue C. I got local neighborhood artists along with 2 other friends who are one was a sculptor, one had studied art for his undergraduate degree as well, and is engaged in nonprofit work. And so we made this transition into organizing this artist collaborative, and the artist would meet, and then we would discuss the possibilities of what we wanted to do for an exhibit. And so it grew from there. In 2008, we incorporated Art Loisaida Foundation. I'm the artistic director and the treasurer. The president, Mario Bustamante, unfortunately died last November.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, it was really tragic. He was very young. He was only like 63.
Wow.
And it was totally unexpected, and because he didn't tell us that he had been ill. And so now our president is Ono De Jong, who is a very talented artist, web designer, teaches web design at Parsons. And our vice president is Chris Enos, who's a photographer. He works in the film industry as a cameraman. Sally Young is an arts professional. She teaches art to children at Greenwich House. And we are lucky to have Robert Slaughter, who was actually one of the original founding members for the Artist Collaborative. And he's the director of Arts Olympus, promotes arts worldwide, internationally, and is trying to establish an artist village in Panama, and possibly one in Florida. And then Roy Chang, who is a very talented tech, who helps us with many, many different ways. Holly O'Grady, Angela Bernard, and Horacio Molina have just joined our board recently. So we look forward to having them assist us.
You have a lot of big names. I mean, you've been doing this for a number of years, and you know, you really are friendly though to young and up and coming artists. Like, for example, how did you decide to put a show in the Theater for the New City? How did that come about, that collaboration?
This is what, where is it?
Because you were so like, I'm an emerging artist, and I don't have an agent or anything. I sold a couple pieces, but you know, I was so pleased to be part of this, and like you were very open to me to letting me come in without
what we do
experience.
Is we look at people's work and we decided on this. This was the show that we first took to Theater for the New City, and it's a pun on words. It's Loisaida. And at that point in time, we were having a major problem with rats in Tompkins Square Park.
Oh my God.
So these were the ratons, Lois and Ida. And
how'd you come up with the names?
Well, because it's a pun, and it was to be advertised as part of the Howl Festival. which is at that point in time was around Tompkins Square Park, which is the reason that we chose the theme of the Ratons. I mean, our neighborhood has even had a kid dress up in Halloween as a rat because the rats were so bad by the children's playground. So the Parks Department has made extensive efforts to eradicate the problem.
Yeah, you have to be careful with rats because they can carry it off. I'm an animal lover, but I have my limits.
Yes, we all have our limits with that. But at any rate, we took this show to Theater for the New City in 2008. And that was our first exhibit there. And because we had done it, it was very successful. And Crystal asked us to keep coming back.
Nice.
So we have a process.
This is the one that I was in, and I love the mosaics that you had featured on that card.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
Then I curate the Lower East Side Festival of the Arts, which is an annual art exhibit at Theater for the New City. It opens the Wednesday before Memorial Day weekend. We usually hang anywhere between 35 to 45 artists. There are people who either live or work in the Lower East Side. We ask artists to submit 3 images of their work, and we have an artist agreement that's published. We put out a call for artists in mid-April every year, and the forms are available on the bench at Theater for the New City. They should be available on their website and also on the website for artistasdeloaisida.org that you can easily download and fill out, and they're very self-explanatory.
It's a wonderful venue. It's really huge. I mean, it's a wonderful space.
It's 2,000 square feet.
A lot of people come in
gallery
to see the
space.
shows, so your work gets a lot of exposure. I can't recommend it enough. I think it's just fantastic.
Yeah, we get about 5,000 people over Memorial Day weekend. The theater does an incredible job with the Lower East Side Festival of the Arts. It's nonstop performance, music. It starts Friday evening at 6 o'clock and goes through Sunday at midnight is when it stops. And it is, it's free, it's open to the public. It gives you a chance just to walk in, see some really great performances. There's dance, music, acting. I mean, it's just amazing what you can see there. And it's all free to the public over Memorial Day weekend.
It's a little bit of everything. Like anybody that loves the arts has to come by and see that because it's such fantastic. It's just a wonderful vibe. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Right. It is. The theater, Crystal's a very special person and her staff. And it's like they're very well loved by people in the neighborhood. It's an accessible venue, which is something that's hard to come by. But it's also very egalitarian, it's multidisciplinary, and it's multicultural. And we try to be as open as possible for a whole mix of people, which is our whole neighborhood, which is one of the reasons it's been such a success in our neighborhood for as long as it has been. I think the theater's been there since like 1984. And they're very tough. I mean, they fought for this space and they've maintained it, and they've created an atmosphere where people feel welcome and to explore, to create, and that's what we try to follow through on the works that we exhibit there. So we're allowed to exhibit one other time. Usually it starts the 1st of November and goes through January 2nd.
So that's wonderful. So what's coming up for you next? Like not only with the Theater for the New City, but just in general, what exhibitions or events are coming up that you might want to mention?
We're in the process. We also I curate the exhibits at Ottendorfer Library, and there's an individual artist whose work is exhibited for 2 months at a time. We host an art talk and a reception where the artist has a chance to speak about what inspires their work, what type of medium they use, and the general public is invited. We have a light food reception type fare and everything, and it's the whole purpose of it is to highlight the artists who live in our neighborhood. I mean, we have so many, and it's like we've been under the pressure of rapid gentrification and development, and people have lost homes and studio spaces and things like that. So it's really important for us to be able to highlight the work of the artists who live there. And this is, Kristen Kuehl is the library director there. She's been really supportive in doing that.
Yes, it's wonderful that, so many people, when they see what you're doing for the arts, I think want to help foster it and nurture it, because artists need to help one another.
Really
All
do.
types of artists need to help one another, visual artists, performing artists, musicians, writers, everybody. We need to be together, because I think that when you combine talents, you also get, a much more beautiful, end result. So it's wonderful to have people like you that are willing to do this, because it's not easy.
I think one of the things about our neighborhood that's really unique, it's like this energy that sort of bounces off the wall, because there are people from everywhere, and they're all different colors, ethnicities, races, religions, you name it, we've got it.
Art brings people together.
Right, but it creates this energy that it's very eclectic and vivid. It sort of bounces off the wall, and it's just impossible to ignore it. This incredible energy of just being there, whether it's performance, poetry, music, visual arts. It's a neighborhood that is totally unique, I think, in that respect.
Now, for anybody that's interested in reaching out to you or hearing more about your organizations, is there a specific website or email that they can go to?
Yes, we have a website. It's artistasdeloaysida.org. We're in the process of planning to update it, because we just added 3 new board members. 2 of our earlier board members, Mario, died in November. Elodie, who was an incredible musician, composer, died in June of 2014 with a very short illness. She had been down by World Trade Center when it went down, and we don't know if that was the end result of that or not, but it was a great loss to lose both of them. They were very creative. They were very much involved in Art Loaysida. But we're blessed to be joined by Holly O'Grady, who is a consultant, and we're working on children's projects with Children's Workshop School and with Compost Community Garden to teach children about gardening, about the environment.